All right, let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. It's a term you hear everywhere these days, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, today we're going to demystify it. We're going to cut right through all the noise and the Hollywood hype to get to the real story of what AI is and what it means for you right now. So, when you hear AI, what pops into your head? Is it, killer robots from the movies, super smart computers taking over the world? It's totally understandable if it is. And it begs the question, right? Is this whole AI thing still just science fiction? Well, the answer is a big, resounding no. Not even close. You might be surprised to hear this, but AI isn't some far off thing we need to prepare for. It's already here. It's deeply woven into your daily life, a lot of times in ways you probably don't even think about. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the AI that's already in your daily life. Then, we'll actually define what we mean by intelligence. After that, we'll dive into how these machines learn, check out some mind blowing real world applications, and finally, we'll look at what the future holds for all of us with AI. All right, let's jump into our first section, AI in your daily life. And like I said, it's already here. In fact, here's a fun thought for you. You're already an AI power user, even if you don't know it. I mean, seriously, just think about it for a sec. That playlist Spotify makes for you that's just perfect? Or how Netflix seems to read your mind and knows exactly what movie you're in the mood for. Yep, that's AI. When your GPS app saves you from a massive traffic jam, that's AI too. Your social media feed, your spam filter, even asking your smart home assistant about the weather. It is all being powered by AI working its magic behind the scenes. Okay, so it's everywhere. We get that. But what is it, really? Let's get into our second part and actually define this intelligence we keep talking about.
So, at its very core, artificial intelligence is all about creating computer systems that can do tasks that normally need a human brain. Things like recognizing faces, understanding what we say, or making complex decisions. But, and this is so important to get, it's about simulating human intelligence, not replicating it. That's the key difference. We're talking about mimicking the output, not recreating the whole conscious, feeling human experience.
And this is where we really bust some myths. So, what is AI today? It's an incredible tool for recognizing patterns. It's fantastic at solving very specific problems and automating tasks. It learns from data like nothing else. But what is it not? Well, it's not conscious, it's not self aware, it doesn't have emotions or feelings, it doesn't have a moral compass. All that stuff, for now, that is strictly the domain of science fiction. So, that begs the question, right? How does a machine get so good at doing these specific things? Well, that brings us to the real engine behind modern AI. Let's talk about how the machine actually learns. The secret sauce here is something called machine learning. See, instead of a human programmer trying to write a rule for every single possible scenario, which would be impossible, they create an algorithm that can teach itself. Think of it like this. You don't teach a toddler what a cat is by giving them a textbook definition. You just show them a bunch of different cats and say cat. Eventually, their brain just figures out the pattern. Machine learning is kind of like that, but on a massive scale. So that learning process follows a pretty simple loop, but it's incredibly powerful. First, you feed the system a ton of data. Then, the system chews on that data, looking for patterns. Step 3, it makes a prediction. Hey, I think this image is a cat. Then, and this is crucial, it gets feedback. Yes, you were right, or nope, that's actually a dog. Finally, it uses that feedback to tweak its approach, to refine itself. And you just repeat that process, sometimes millions or even billions of times, and it gets better and better and better. Okay, now for the really cool part. Let's look at how this incredible learning ability is actually being used out there in the real world. Because trust me, its impact is being felt in pretty much every industry you can think of. Take healthcare, for instance. AI is helping doctors spot diseases like cancer in medical scans way earlier and with more accuracy than ever before. It's even helping create personalized treatment plans based on a person's individual genetic code. It's just incredible. Then there's transportation. You've probably heard about self-driving cars, right? Well, AI is the brain that makes them work. But it's also working behind the scenes to optimize huge complex shipping routes, making sure everything from your new phone to your groceries gets to you faster and more efficiently.
And in entertainment, well, this brings us full circle, doesn't it? We already talked about those recommendation engines on Netflix and Spotify. But now, AI is also creating stunning special effects for blockbuster movies, and is even being used as a tool to compose brand new music and generate unbelievable art. What about your money? Well, in finance, AI is that silent guardian that's constantly scanning for fraud on your credit card. It's also behind the super fast algorithmic trading that happens on the stock market every single second. So it's pretty clear this technology is incredibly powerful and it's everywhere, which naturally leads us to our final and maybe most important section. What comes next? What does our future with AI actually look like? I love this quote. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. AI is a tool to help us invent a better one. It just hits the nail on the head, you know? It's a powerful reminder that AI isn't some tidal wave that's just going to wash over us. No, it's a tool, a really, really powerful tool that we are all building and deciding how to use right now. And when we look down that road ahead, the potential is just mind-boggling. We're talking about services that are tailored perfectly to you, huge leaps forward in science and medicine, and brand new tools that will unlock human creativity. But, and it's a big but, it also forces us to ask some really important ethical questions. We absolutely have to figure out things like data privacy, bias, and what all this automation means for jobs. So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. AI is a tool. That's it. It's one of the most powerful tools humanity has ever invented, for sure. But just like a hammer, you can use it to build a house or you can use it to break a window. Its impact, whether it's good or bad, is going to come down to the choices we make, how we build it, how we use it, and the rules we put in place around it. Look, AI isn't some future fantasy anymore. It's here, right now, and it's already reshaping our world as we speak. So the real question we all have to ask ourselves isn't if it will change our future. The real question is, what future are we going to build with it?